Well, what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Oh man, Saturday, just chill. What's going on? Hey, Oscar, what's up? What's going on? Well, hopefully the audio's all right. Seems kind of weird, but probably just because like I have like a beanie on and then the headphones over it. Okay, so yeah, we're just gonna hang out for a while. See what's up with everybody. How's everybody doing? I know the title is a little bit kind of different. So I'm gonna get into some stuff regarding YouTube and also kind of get people's opinions. Should I get an OUYA in 2021? I don't know if you guys remember what an OUYA is, but I'm thinking about getting one. So I'll kind of lead off with that one. So yeah, I am honestly thinking about getting an OUYA. I know that there's several things that you can do with them, so that's always a nice touch. Of course, it's retro tech, which I kind of have a thing for. So that's always nice to have. Let's see. Okay, everything's updated on Studio. I got to figure out the way to schedule this on Restream. StreamYard, that's probably one good thing about StreamYard is that when you set up a live stream and everything, you can schedule it, so it gives you more time to just put like the necessary info in on YouTube Studios and kind of get that squared away. But I gotta figure out how to schedule it on here. Hello everybody, hope you all are having a great day. Oh yeah, appreciate that. People hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Okay, so let's just kind of show what an OUYA is for those who don't know or probably don't remember, but as soon as y'all see it, y'all will remember it. So there it is. That little, right up there, that little box with the controller. That was like crowdfunded gaming using the Android system. So they had a system UI overlay, and yeah, it's been a while since anyone's made a review about this. However, I'm possibly thinking about grabbing one. What's up, Mario? What's going on, dude? Only because like there are some things you can do with it. I believe that you can mod it with emulators. And I think it's powerful enough to run N64 games. I've seen demos of people running games like what is it? Like Donkey Kong 64. And Donkey Kong is a heavy graphic game for back when that console was relevant. So if the OUYA can run the graphics and everything quite well, being that it only has 8 gigs of internal storage and 1 gigabyte of RAM, it should be able to run N64 games. So I can get my game on, like playing games like Star Fox 64. I can even get like the Mortal Kombat trilogy. I can get that. There's several games for the N64 that I want to play again. Legend of Zelda's, like the different ones, like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. Even Ocarina of Time Master Quest. I would love to be able to play that. And since it is Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi dependent, and actually it's not just Wi-Fi dependent because you can connect an Ethernet line to it and just run it directly from your internet modem. So what I'm thinking is there's got to be a way for me to actually stream the gameplay, or there's got to be some sort of like mod or hack or something for it. So I'm literally thinking about getting an OUYA. What are your guys' thoughts on that? What would you guys say to it? Because like I'm finding OUYAs for sale. Of course, they're secondhand use, so it's people that don't use them anymore selling them, and the normal pricing that I'm seeing for this thing is $50. And like the ones that I'm seeing that's for $50 comes with the console, all the necessary connections, and 2 controllers instead of 1. So when you did buy an OUYA, like if you bought one at Target or Walmart or whatever, because they did sell them in those stores, in those brand stores, they only came with one controller, so you'd have to buy like another controller separately. And yes, of course, if I get one, I'm going to do a review on it in 2021. It's retro tech, and retro tech is one of my things that I like, you know. Of course, that's pretty obvious. Any old tech that I can get my hands on, I tend to make a review video about it, even though like some people just have no interest in it. I really don't care. But yeah, I'm seriously debating of getting one of these. You know, because I don't want to waste money on it. But I'm just like, I mean, I like playing video games, but I just like playing retro video games. I don't know, like retro is my thing, I guess. I guess it is. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anywho, let me just kind of stop the screen share here. So that's a plan that I want to do, is get an OUYA. So if you're watching the replay later on and you got an opinion on it, leave your opinion in the comments. Let me know. Should I or should I not? All right. Okay. So as the title implies for today's just chit chat Saturday funness, why do we keep doing this? Okay. And this question comes from a video that I watched from a YouTuber that I'd say like 5 years ago was pretty good. I'm not saying that they're not good now, but people move on to the next flavor every year, right? So technically, to summarize this and be real with everybody, being a tech YouTuber, you're like the flavor of the month. You'll be good at a time. People will like your stuff, follow you, and all this other stuff, and then eventually they move on to somebody else that's refreshing, and you're just like, you've been used. You know what I mean? Wham, bam, thank you for the tech, peace, type of thing. And that's the realization of it. Anyone coming into the YouTube tech space, wanting to make videos and stuff like that, that's something that you definitely are gonna have to get, you're gonna have to get used to. I mean, it's really hard to remain relevant, especially when you don't want to be what I consider the fraud. I'll take myself for an example because I can speak of myself, right? So if anyone wants to look at my channel today and look at how things are, you would definitely look at it and say, okay, he's not doing so good anymore. If you were to look at my catalog of videos and live streams and stuff like that from like a couple of years ago, you'd be like, okay, he was pulling about 1,000 views, anywhere between 200 to 1,000 views. Now he's not even pulling over 100, right? So people would look at my channel and say, okay, this guy's struggling really bad, And so the question would get asked to me by somebody that actually would be straight with me and be like, why don't you just put yourself out of your misery and just pull the plug? And, I can only answer that for myself and just say it like this. I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. I'm not going to be like, okay, my stuff is not entertaining anymore. Let me just kind of go away. You know what I mean? Like sometimes I feel like that. And sometimes I express it, where I feel like that, I just need to step aside. But then when I try to step aside, I just get this feeling that's just like, well, you like to do it. You love doing this. Keep doing it. And here I am, still doing it. Even though some people would say, bro, you got to go. I just have to accept things for the way they are. And other YouTubers are facing the same problems too as well. Other YouTubers are going through that aspect right now. Can they make a comeback? Possibly. But the one thing that I won't do is I won't make a fraudulent case for myself. You know what I mean? Like some people are just like, hey, you know what? Like network technology is the thing that people are interested in. People are interested in 5G. You should talk about it. But why would I talk about an area of something that I am not 100% familiar with? Like I can tell you basic things that I've learned from Sneed, from my friendship with Sneed and being on his live streams, watching his live streams, watching his videos daily. But that's like a regurgitation of what Sneed is doing. So literally that's just like, why not just go watch Sneed's channel? because I may not put it so eloquently the way that he does when talking about technology and things like that, in that realm of like network capacity and all that other stuff. Like he can articulate it very well, because that is his I want to call it his expertise, because that's what he really researches on, like he's heavy into it. And I could research into it and regurgitate it back that way too. But then, for me, it's interesting for me to know where this technology is going. I just don't want to be one of the many channels that's doing it, like, I don't know. I guess my perception on things is kind of like music. It's kind of like, how that is. Like, someone comes up with a style of music and other people want to, bite it and do it. Like, I don't see myself doing that. Even though if it would be accepted by the community or not, I just don't find myself doing it, I have a lot of Pixel phones. I stick to what I have and talk about what I have, because there is a group of people out there that are very, interested and dedicated to Google Pixel phones. And so my videos kind of market towards them. Talking about things that's going on in the big G company is also something that, I'm interested in, because, I am vested in the G company. The things that they do, obviously is going to play a role. That is, that's a no-brainer. So, I report on that. Anything that's going on in the tech space, the tech realm, as far as like, companies and the decisions, mobile OEM manufacturers and things like that, I push towards that. And so for like, a lot of the other creators who pretty much have like the same perception on things, like they know things aren't going well for them on this platform, but they refuse to give up. Like, I fully support that. I am full support for them, because I know what it's like. I'm going through the same thing too. I mean, these days, like some people will say like tech is dead. It's boring. There's nothing much really to it anymore. And yeah, I can see people's perceptions of that. I understand where they're coming from on that, but at the same time, everything's got to go through a dry spell. Like, everything has to go through a dry spell at one point or another. Like, it's not always going to be, excitement and release and new phone and new phone and new phone. I mean, we've hit a glass ceiling. Okay, we have to come to that realization. We have hit the glass ceiling. We haven't busted through the glass ceiling, but everything is all piled up at the glass ceiling right now. When you look at like how mobile technology has advanced in the last 3 years, main focus has been about cameras and the types of photos that you can take. So literally that's like camera technology, photography technology, videography technology, right? It's not really the micro pocket computer technology. And that's because everything is pressured at that glass ceiling. Everything is stuck there. Eventually, at some point in time, we're going to break through. People will have a stake in foldable technology. And so they're kind of looking at that. What's up, Isaac? What's going on, man? So people are looking at foldable technology as like, that's going to be the glass ceiling buster. That's going to bust through that glass ceiling. That's going to take mobile technology to new heights. And it could possibly be that. There's still holographic technology that's rarely talked about that, I'm following. Yes, I know. The first thing that comes to people's minds about holographic communications, they're going to think Star Wars, because in Star Wars, that's how everyone communicated, right? That's how, the Sith communicated to plan their attacks or their strategies. That's how the Jedi communicated, especially during the Clone Wars. So, but yes, that's a real thing. There's a real thing of trying holographic communications, communicating through holograms. That would actually be kind of interesting. Someone has created a hologram image before, but they used like a few pieces of I think it was like plexiglass or whatever, put it together, and they placed it on top of their mobile phone, which allowed to create this holographic screen. But like, how do you make a holographic image without bordering glass and everything like that? So just got off Tana Live. Yeah, Tana. Shout out to Dan Tana himself. Shouts out to him, man. Still going strong on the YouTube. So, I mean, there are advancements in technology around the corner. We have to give it its just due. Artificial intelligence, aka AI, is, you know, a big portion of it. But we just don't see, like, we hear about AI, we hear about how it's going to be implemented into this thing and implemented into that thing, but we don't really see the entire shell that houses the AI technology and how it's going to advance forward. And of course, there's people that are like afraid of AI because they've wholeheartedly been devout fans of Terminator. So they're like absolutely afraid that Google's AI is Skynet. Whatever. I mean, you know, and I'll say this, when it comes to that movie Terminator, if with the ideas of those types of movies, you have to understand that there are people in high places that are going to watch that movie and think, okay, that's like a warning to us. If we're going to develop AI technology, we got to make sure that we are the ones with the key to shut it down, that we can pull the plug at any time, and that there's nothing that the AI system itself can do to prevent us from shutting it down. You know, you got to think, there are very bright people and they have these ideas in different realms that don't really correlate with what's going on in technology. Yet they kind of, you know, they do give off the idea of, you know, what to expect. And somebody that's in that area of technology is going to take that seriously to a degree to make sure that, you know, nothing bad happens. So, I mean, I'm not too worried about AI, to be honest with everybody. But there are different things that are what I would consider to be in its infancy, is the reason why that we're not seeing drastic changes to mobile technology right now. So yes, we are currently in a mobile tech dry spell. And I know that it sucks for some people because people are just like, they want the unboxings, they want the reviews, but they don't want the unboxings of the same old crap with a different logo on it. They want the unboxings with something new and vibrant and uplifting and, ooh, this is tech, you know. They want to feel that feeling again, and we're not really getting it, you know. I understand completely. So a lot of tech YouTubers that have been around for the longest time that used to be doing good on YouTube is actually kind of doing bad right now, because we're trying to find different avenues to continue to bring something for our subscribers, so that way they don't feel like nothing's happening here, you know, they go away. This is why I told everybody, like, I 100% back Sneed's channel, and I push people to go check out Sneed because he's talking about something different that none of us, you know, tech YouTubers were ever really talking about. So, and you know what? They'll get the best information, and it'll be a good time if you guys just go to his live streams and you watch his live streams, you watch his videos. And I know it sounds weird because it's like, dude, that's taking away viewership from your channel and putting it somewhere else. Well, why not? Why not, you know, give somewhere for my subscribers to go to be entertained for the meantime, if the things that I'm covering is not that entertaining because it's pretty much blasé. If it's blasé, I would rather have you be entertained somewhere else, you know, and deal with the lack of viewership for now, than to be like, you know what, I'm going to talk about this, which is absolutely irrelevant to today, and you're going to be bored as shit. Because really, like, you know, that's not my thing. I don't want to put people through that, you know. The hanging out and chatting with people, just having like a chat like this, you know, just an open format, and, you know, just whatever. I kind of enjoy those. So, and I always encourage people to kind of be open about things. I mean, you know, unless you're going to be like a total tool bag and bully people, well then, yeah, you'll get the boot. But I mean, you know, you can always have an opinion. You can always disagree with things. You can always talk about other things. Stay away from politics and stuff like that, because that really hurt my channel really bad. I mean, I follow my analytics. I look at my analytics and I see what's going on. Yes, I had to clean out a couple of past live streams because there were just some stuff that went on on the live stream that, you know, the algorithm on YouTube doesn't like. So unfortunately, even though those videos or live stream, you know, broadcasts, even though they got a good amount of views, I had to delete them. You know, I had to completely take them off the channel. Trying to move things off the channel that, you know, gave a bad reputation, so then that way I can, you know, reach new people too as well. It's one of the many sacrifices you got to do as a creator. Like, this shit is not easy. I'm going to tell people that again at the end of the day. It's not easy. You don't just go and make a channel. It's going to be great and people are going to find me and boom, I'm going to blow up and everything like that. It doesn't work that way. It does not. And I'm not trying to discourage anybody from it. I'm just stating out the blunt truth about it. It's not. You know. It takes a while to get some steam rolling behind you, and even then you can quickly go. I proved this theory on Instagram. You know, I was sharing funny reels on Instagram, and in like a week, I would say that, you know, and I say it blew up. It didn't blow up to millions. Okay, but like, I'm an average Joe guy that's not really an influencer, that's not really hip to today's generation of things, you know. And for my Instagram platform to go from 300 followers to over 2,000 followers, I think I'm at 2,700 followers, and now it's starting to decline. But I was able to do that in a span of 2 weeks. It took me almost 2 weeks to go from 300 to 2,700 on there. But it goes back to that, you know, you're the flavor of the month type of thing. Like, people saw those reels that I was reacting to, they thought they were funny, they followed, and then you know, after they followed me for like, you know, a week or, you know, like a week and a half or maybe just a week, and they're like, oh, well, yeah, this guy posts videos on IGTV about tech, and he takes pictures about random things like, you know, phones, operating system updates, and food, and, you know, him and his kids, and he's not really that entertaining, so then they're unfollowing. You know, it's the reality of the entertainment business that applies here to YouTube. People got to understand that it applies here to YouTube at the end of the day, you know. And I'm very different from a lot of other people, you know what I mean? Like, there's other people here on YouTube that are more charismatic. They have something about them that draws a lot of people to stay towards them, right? Like, you want to talk people like Painfully Honest Tech. You know, he does all right with his live streams and stuff like that. People still watch and gravitate towards his videos, you know what I mean? But he has that deep following with his subscribers, and he has learned from Roberto Blake, because I remember him talking about that Roberto Blake was his coach, and I don't know, it sounds so negative to say he's gamed the algorithm and understands how to beat it, but yeah, he does. But it's not just that. Like, people will look at it and be like, oh, how did he game the algorithm? Because I want to do it too. Like, it's not just that. It's not all about gaming the algorithm. It's also about you as a person and your personality. You know what I mean? Here are some things that I'm going to share with people to understand that definitely hurt my channel to a degree. Okay. One, I was too transparent with everybody. There are some things, like, sometimes you look at the YouTube platform and you're like, you know, people that connect with you, comment, show up to your live streams daily, like, you gain this thing of like, oh, friends, and you start to kind of like shift from what you are as, you know, a content creator to being a friend, which is, you know, some people say that's not a bad thing, and it's not. But when you start opening up about your personal life onto a platform like this, can definitely change people's perception of you. And then that can, you know, it can go one of two ways, right? So like a 50-50 shot at that. It can be positive, it could be negative. And in my instance, you know, I've opened up about my mental health and stuff like that. And I think that has played a negative impact on the channel to some people's extent of how they view me, and kind of forget that, you know, what I'm here originally doing. There are some people that looked at it and thought it was brave of me to open up like that, and so they resonated more towards me, but there's a good chunk of them that kind of, it pushed them away, right? Talking about things such as politics and things like that has also really kind of been detrimental to this channel. It has. I have a political point of view, but this channel is not about politics. And I made the fatal mistake of, having quips with somebody that also thinks politics and thinks from a different narrative. Yeah, while me and the person were able to demonstrate to a lot of people that we can have two different views but still remain civil, which was my hopes and intentions of people seeing, it actually did more harm because people today don't just look at that and say, oh, look, there are two guys with two different point of views and they agree to disagree and they're still cool with each other. And, there's no, they're not acting out irrationally or doing stupid things. I was hoping people would get that concept, but people didn't. Today, people are just like, "Oh, you think this way," so they completely write you off. Like, it doesn't matter if you have 50 things in common. If you by today's standards, if you have one thing that you guys don't have in common, it's like right off, and so you get written off. That happens. And then also, you have to think about the platforms themselves, and this is where it really kind of impacted me. So even like doing stuff like where I did a video that I told people how to install Parler onto their Android phone once Parler's services was back up, Google didn't like that. So yeah, I bared the brunt of that pretty hard. You really do have to watch what you do on these platforms. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, like you really got to watch what you do on it. And if you're one person who doesn't go with the flow, if you go against the grain, understand that while you wouldn't say that it's not a good thing for you to stay quiet, in this, they will always win. YouTube will always win if my perception of things that's going on in the world today differs from theirs. Because you got to remember, YouTube has an objective and a goal as to why they want people to think a certain way. If you think a certain way, it makes something easier for them to do. And that is with Facebook and Twitter and everybody, right? So I'm kind of already stepping on the edge here, about to fall off this great cliff again, because I'm talking about this. But I'm just going to say it like this, like, They hold the keys. They have the power. This is their platform. Content creators like myself cannot be arrogant to think that, I can get people that think just like me to ride together and we're going to go and make the biggest wave splash ever, because you won't. You may think you do, right? There's guys like Brandon Tatum here on YouTube who live streams and talks about current events and politics. And while because I don't know him personally, but he may think that he makes a big splash on the YouTube scene. No. Sure, he gets 300, 400, 500,000 views. He gets 36,000 likes. And that seems pretty big. But you gotta remember, YouTube holds the key. YouTube can cancel him at any time. Of course, they're not going to, because he's getting the viewership. And for them, they're thinking dollars so they could run ads on his stuff and make money through the ad partnerships they have with different companies out there. So that's why he's not canceled. Believe you me, if they couldn't profit off his live streams and videos, regardless if he thinks a certain way that they don't want people to hear, if it wasn't lucrative for YouTube to use his stuff, they would have canceled him already. That's what you got to understand. So there's a difference between people. And again, it pulls back to this one quintessential thing that differs me from Brandon Tatum. Brandon Tatum has a lot of charisma. Brandon Tatum has a way of captivating an audience. I have it, but not as much as he does. I have it on a very, very small scale. That's the difference between he and I. This is the reason why, for someone like me, I have to be extra careful on this platform. And the same with Facebook and the same with Twitter. Now, some may have noticed that on Twitter, I don't really get political anymore. I've got my warnings from Twitter. Interesting enough, Facebook has never really come after me just yet. They've gone after my older sister. She showed me screenshots of her getting a warning from Facebook that she's about to get her profile banned and deleted because she openly shares her thoughts. I guess that's why it's so hard to be on a platform such as YouTube and stuff like that, you know, when you know that you really have to be careful of what you say, how you say it, and how it's delivered, because you can get canceled at any time. And this is relevant here on YouTube because with the YouTube policies that's been updated, we've been told that if we're considered not lucrative, they can cancel. Like right now, my channel is dangerously close to just being written off and canceled, right? Because I'm not getting the views that I used to get before. I don't know when YouTube is gonna, you know, put the spotlight on my channel and say, hey, it's not very lucrative for our advertisement. Let's just take away his channel. And if they take it away, I mean, they're gonna take it away. It means that every video that I've posted is gone. And so I worry about that quite a bit. Because I don't want my channel getting scrubbed. It's also the reason why that I won't just like walk away from YouTube and just not do anything on the channel, because that will give them grounds to say there's no activity on this channel, scrub it to make room for another channel, and then every video that I've posted is gone. Because like, to be honest with everybody, I still get views on way older videos. It's kind of funny sometimes. It's really funny when I get those views, because I get comments and stuff like that. And like some people, you know, like they get pretty brash with me on there. They'll comment like on a video from like 2014. Like there's just one video that I get lots of comments on till today. And that's how to get the hotspot on a Boost mobile phone, how to get the hotspot working without adding hotspot to your plan and without having to root your Android device. And people be like, it doesn't work. And I'm like, yes, of course it doesn't work, because this applied to Boost mobile phones back in 2014. Have you not looked at when this video, and I always have to comment back to that, to people, be like, look at the date of this video while you're getting, you know, your underwears in a bunch. Look at the date of this video, 2014. We're in 2021. Okay, that's years later, you know, of course, obviously, but I mean, I still get views on those videos. I don't want those videos to like disappear, you know, because there's some videos where people will be like, hey, you know, I never thought about this with this phone, and it was like, you know, 5 years ago, and even though they can't do nothing with that particular phone now because obviously it's obsolete, you know, they will give, you know, they'll give recognition where recognition is due and be like, yo, you know, I wish I saw this video 4 or 5 years ago. You know, I mean, making videos is absolutely fun. It's actually, you know, a really good craft of mine that I've gotten better and better at over years. And actually recently, so, you know, just to kind of get some insight to people out there, I use Power Director. And Power Director wasn't as good as, you know, was it Final Cut or anything like that back in the day. But now Power Director has gotten a lot better. Blaze, what's up? What's going on, man? Power Director has gotten a lot better, added more features, added more things in it. Like, if you didn't know, I'll share with you guys right now. The last 2 videos I did, not live streams, the last 2 videos I uploaded to YouTube have been done with Power Director, and it was done through my mobile phone. Well, one was done through my mobile phone, one was done through my Pixelbook laptop. And they've added this new feature on Power Director, which cancels out background noise. So, like, you know, I had my fan running because it's hot here. We're in excessive heat warning. I think we're looking like at 110 degree heat today or this weekend. So I have both my fans on, the air conditioner running. Of course, my kids, you know, they're in the living room because it's summer. They're not at school, so you know, they're running around playing or whatever. And with the Power Director app, with what's called denoise, it completely obliterates background noise in audio recording. So I can record exactly like this. Once I'm done, go into the editing part, and in the volume control, there's an option that says denoise. I click that and I can adjust how much do I want to take out of background noise. I can do 50% where you'll kind of still hear some background noise, but it won't be at the forefront. So it kind of boosts my audio of my voice as a foreground audio. You can shoot it up to 80%. You can shoot up to 100% where it completely takes it out. And I did. The very last video that I did where I talked about why Android 12 Beta 2 wouldn't be, what I would suggest to run as a daily driver for the nitpicky people out there. That had a lot of background noise. I had my son scream because he was jumping off the bunk bed. That had the air conditioner on high blast. You can hear that like that. And in the replay of the raw video cut, you can hear that. After denoising the volume on it, everything was gone except for my voice. And I'm just like, yeah. And so, there's a lot of transitions. There's a lot of quirky things. There's some stock video footage you can use. Power Director has really stepped its game up and has reinvigorated me to record and make videos again rather than just live streaming. And there's more videos coming down. I mean, I'm still working on the review video for the Skull Candy Dimes. I think they're a hell of a freaking wireless earbuds. Really good. That if anyone was like, should I go out and get one? Yes, obviously, go out and get them. And here's the size comparison. I found the Indie Evos, right? Size comparison. These are smaller. But they're good. They actually sound better than the Indie Evos. The Indie Evos sound pretty good for what they are. And the Dimes sound a lot better. Obviously, they sound a hell of a lot better than the Skull Candy Evo Sessions. I mean, yeah. I have a lot of wireless earbuds. But I would say, yeah. I gotta make some more videos on that. Update videos on Android 12 beta as I'm following on the progression of the beta. So, yeah. Anyways, for a Saturday, what's up with everyone? Is it me or does it feel like a Sunday? It feels like a Sunday to me. I don't know about you guys, but it feels like it's a Sunday to me, and I'm just like, whoa. Yeah. Anyways, and also on another side note, it's the reason why that I popped this little message here at the bottom and keep it at the bottom, because the viewership on my channel has gone down dramatically. I'm not getting the same kind of view count and stuff like that. So the money that I used to pull in from all these videos that used to go to my kids has dwindled quite a bit. And yeah, I'm trying to find ways to bring that in, so that way my kids can do the things that I want them to be able to do, or buy the things that they need to get or want to get. That's the reason why I do this. I don't have no special story, nothing like that. As far as why I have links to PayPal, Cash App for, any generous donation that anyone wants to do. There's no sad story I'm going to give because there's not. Like I'm upfront with people about that. I'm not going to bullshit anybody. It is there to go to my kids. It is extra money that says that whatever the kids want to do, if they want to go to, say, like the water park and have fun instead of being cooped up in the house, that money goes towards that. If it's for them to buy a new toy, to buy coloring books, to buy books to read and stuff, that's what that money goes towards. I still can do it with the money that my lady and I make, but that helps. And it's dwindled because my channel has really gone down. It's gone downhill. Nothing I can do. So, I mean, if I can offer a bit of advice to everybody else that's trying to create a channel and do things, you could be transparent with people to a degree, but you got to be careful of just like how transparent you are. Politics and religion, stay the hell away from that, because that's detrimental to your channel. It will definitely hurt you. And don't be, unless you're very confident, you can bite what somebody else is doing. If you're very confident that you can bring a different dynamic to that field, but don't do it as an actual regurgitation of somebody else and exactly what they're saying, because it's not going to help. You got to be you. And I've always told people I'm not a very interesting person. I don't have a lot of quirkiness to me. There's some days where I could be overly vibrant and you guys can feel that. And then these live streams are fun. Like I wave my hand in the air, get really, 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 really crazy and make a fool of myself and everything. And it's all good and fun. I can do that. There's just some days where I don't feel like it. You know, there's some days, I mean, you know, one thing I won't do is I won't turn this channel into a mental health channel. I could talk your ears off about mental health and how it's impacted my life and everything like that. But nobody comes to this channel for that. This channel has already been established as tech. Trust me, I've tried to shift it to talk about movies. Some of you guys are interested. Most of you guys don't care. So it's like, okay, that's a fail. Like, but don't ever be afraid to try things. I'm going to tell people that right now. Don't be afraid to try things, but understand they may not always go the way that you think they will. You know, it's gone back to what it needed to be. I mean, Aloha Android has been a staple name in the tech community that's always been memorable. A lot of people remember the name from years ago, and yeah, you know, they'll kind of freak out too. And that's another thing. Don't do what I've done. Don't try to rebrand all the time. You know what? Just build another channel and brand off that. If you have a spontaneous idea and you're like, this might work, do it from scratch. Don't try to be like, well, I already have this going here. Maybe I could just flip it to this, because people might not be okay with it. I can say a good 60% of the channel subscriptions that I lost were because YouTube scrubbing dead accounts. The other 40% are people that were like, they saw a video posted and they were like, what the F is the nerdiest podcast? I never subscribed to this. Click unsubscribe. Not even realizing that they subscribed to Aloha Android. They love the channel Aloha Android. They may not have watched a video from the channel in a long time because they have lives. They're not always glued to a phone or glued to a laptop to watch tech videos. But they didn't recognize that it's still the same person, and so they unsubscribe. And I get people that tell me all the time, why did you change the name Aloha Android? Keep the damn name, Tito. Just keep the name, because people they love that name. They know that name, and it's different from a lot of other tech channels, because there's a lot of tech channels that have the word tech in them. You know, there's a lot of them that hang on. But yeah, there's a lot of the tech channels that have the word tech in it, and I'm not knocking anyone that does that. You know what I mean? So that's why Aloha Android is different. Yeah, it has a tech name to it, the word Android. You know what I mean? But it's a little bit different. I'm glad I didn't call it Aloha Tech. You know, that's something that I was just like glad I didn't do. But you know, it's a name that's recognized, and so I was stupid to even go and try to rebrand the channel as something else, you know, which is why and I know it's weird. I haven't really been following my own rule, right? Like I was supposed to be doing live streams on NerdPod, which is the other channel, which is supposed to be mostly just live streams only and like audio podcasts. And I've been doing more lives here on Aloha Android, but I'm also kind of showing this whole restream thing and how it's being a more effective live streaming tool than StreamYard has been. But anyways, yeah. So don't do a lot of rebranding to your channel unless you're absolutely going to stick with it. You know what I mean? Shifting ideas. Yeah, don't be afraid to try things, but understand if they don't work right, if they don't work the way you want, then it's not going to, you know what I mean? It's just not going to go. You just have to face facts that it was a fail. I have failed more times than anything on things that I would have hoped would have been good, and it just didn't go the way that I wanted it to. I'm not afraid to admit that to anybody. It's just it's the way it is. That's how it is. Now, I don't regret anything because I can say that at least I've tried. It just didn't work the way that I wanted it to. So I guess that's like a bit of like insight from just a mediocre content creator on YouTube, right? Because I'm not on that level that has a lot going on. So maybe one day I will be there. You know, maybe when I hit 40, because I got a year, I got a year and 2 months before I hit 40. I turned 39 in August, so then after that it'd be like 1 more year. But anyways, guys, yeah, I may do another live later on this evening if I decide to, or whatever. I don't know. But I do want to thank everyone that did come in and hang out for a little bit. I know it wasn't a tech subject to really kind of like everyone sink their teeth and bite into, but I appreciate everyone who popped in and out. Appreciate that. If you watched the replay and you got some good insight from what I had to share, and still let me know, should I get an OUYA? Let me know. I really would love people's feedback on that. But yeah, let me go ahead and dip out of here. Y'all take it easy. As always, law.